Good morning, everyone, and hello, Gabrielle. And you know what today is?
Twin Flame Tuesdays.
Twin Flame Tuesdays. And girl, I know you have a lot to say today. So what do you want to tell everyone about Twin Flame Tuesday today?
So we're moving in a different direction. Instead of our segments being an hour long like they usually are, we're going to break them down in 20 to 30-minute shows where we answer one question and we will tackle that question from every dynamic every way we can. And so this gives, people a little bit more time to be able to digest the content, for them to understand what's going on within that question, and so they can really take that aspect and apply it in their life. So this is the dynamic change of the channel, shorter segments for you to be able to digest it, understand it, take it apart, and then take it in your life. So yes.
Awesome. So what is the very first one we're going to start with?
Well, we're just going to started like when we originally started this content. What is the Twin Flame Union? What is this union?
What is it? Absolutely, because everyone and their brother is talking about it. As a matter of fact, I logged my Reiki computer on, the one that runs all the time with my good energy going. And the very first thing on the screen this morning was, why me? Why did I meet my twin flame? So I mean, it is everywhere, certainly. So, well, what is Twin Flame Union?
Well, let's dissect it and break it down like we were talking earlier. Well, first of all, the Twin Flame Union is the divine feminine and masculine energy. It is this energy that is, I am you and you are me. And so when I told you this morning, when I was in meditation this morning, after meditation, I was getting some downloads and being shown more about the twin flame dynamic. And the way Spirit was showing it to me was like the creator energy, how this energy, of course, was one and all. And so it broke itself down, like we've talked before, because, it wanted to experience more of itself. So it had to have complexity. So it broke its energies down to divine, feminine, and masculine. And that right there in itself is the divine, feminine, and masculine, what we talk about, the twin flame union. And I love the way you explained it. So at the tip of the way you explained how the layers are, when I say, well, this energy seems to be even a little bit more ancient than archangel energy. And I love the way you broke it down. So break that down for us.
Well, we have everything, of course, is source or universe, but not everyone has everything in them. Not everyone is made up exactly the same, because we have, some of us are Andromedan, some of us are have Arcturian, some of us, it depends on what part of the universe you're from, what part of the stardust you're made of. And we are made of layers of that. The universe is, there's layers and layers of it, and we're made from layers of it. But no matter what your makeup is, no matter what slice of the universe you're made of, you're still going to have divine feminine and divine masculine energy. That is a given, because our source energy is, at its very essence, at its very being, divine feminine and divine masculine. It has both of those components. So no matter if you have overarching archangel as your primary energy, or whatever your primary energy is, you're going to have divine feminine, divine masculine. So for that to be the first division that you saw, well, that was how, no matter what the first energy was that divided, it did divide into those, not evenly, not this is all the masculine taken out, this is all the feminine taken out, but it was divided to where this is more masculine, this is more feminine, this is going to behave more that way, this is going to, so that they could have that interaction between the two energies. And let's see what happens. And boy, have we been seeing what happened ever since. When they went to expanding consciousness that way, I don't know that they got what they bargained
for. Well, they got the tactile experience from it.
Oh, it got tactile, all right.
Yes, it did get very tactile. But when you think about it, when you look out in space from the telescopes, the images and everything like that, you see areas of light, bright, beautiful, of dark essence, and I kind of visualize it as a big canvas, like a big picture. And you have some shades that are a little bit more darker and grayer. You have some shades that are a little bit more light, but it all blends in as this whole symphony, this whole beautiful creation.
Exactly.
So yes, we're experiencing the tactile of it. And so, but this twin flame union this is the beauty of it. This is just to show you how deeply ingrained it is within our consciousness. This isn't some new terminology, some new whatever. It is ingrained throughout our consciousness because it is us.
It is
Yes.
us, right?
Yeah.
And it traditionally in our world that has meant male, female, but we now know that that's not what it means. It's not about gender. It is an energy. They are energies, but we've had traditional roles attached to those energies that have caused a lot of energetic chaos for us because we have gotten programmed with those roles, and that has caused a lot of issues, and that's a lot of what is causing issues for the twin flames now who are trying to come back together. Is they're so heavily programmed with all of these societal roles. Relationships are supposed to look this way, you're supposed to act this way, you're supposed to behave this way, you treat someone that way, or we don't know how to treat each other because we have done so poorly in all relationships. And then we have all the ancestral. How many lifetimes have we spent together already? How much damage have we done to one another already with past experiences together, or in other relationships even that we're now bringing back to our twin flame relationship, and we're trying to heal from those. And it's the twin flame relationship that's suffering because of the damage from other relationships, and not even male, female, or couple relationships, but familial relationships, the way our families, the way our interactions in our families are. So twin flame is affected by all of those things.
And I want to break that down a little bit more to give a little more visualization. Because I think scientifically, as above, as below, as within, as without.
Absolutely.
So even when you think about it as cell division, when cells break down and when cells divide to create life, to create a whole physical being, from the first, when the egg meets the sperm meets the egg, and then the cell division starts. You have that two individual unions, and then it breaks down. Then it creates this whole being. And then when you think about it in the terms of whatever is going on, say for example, if that person gets sick, or that baby gets sick or whatever, it starts breaking down the whole composition of that body, of that being. And at the beginning, it was two cells that broke apart to create this being. So everything is connected when you can see the picture, as above, as below, as within, as without. We are our own. This is our own internal universe right here. We have to learn how to travel this universe right here.
Right.
Yeah. And when you were talking about even ancestral stuff, that's another thing that came up. I didn't even touch on when we talked a little bit. And when I was being shown Larry's and I past life together, that came up as well in meditation. Like, it was so many. I was just going down a whole trip of past lives we had together, and how we were healing those wounds from those lifetimes. And I couldn't do them a crying meditation because it was a beautiful thing to start seeing these aspects of ourselves come to union and doing this ancestral healing work that we do.
Yeah, we are doing so much healing right now, and of course, twin flame is about that, and it's definitely about the healing. It's for us to get back to wholeness. The first division, of course, was twin flame, and of course, as we've said, that doesn't mean we're collapsing back into one big glob of something. That's not what that means at all. We respect. There's great respect for the individuality, but for us to get there, we have to first heal the twin flame wounds before we can heal the oneness wounds, because there is a sequence to it. We divide it this way. We have to reverse engineer it, right? But as so many twins, as it started, why me? Why did I have to meet my twin? Yes, we are here to meet that person, to heal those wounds, etc., etc. But it is all about the individual. If you're not taking care of yourself, you're no good to the twin anyway. And if they're not taking care of themselves, they're no good to you. But it works the same way for the whole. If we're not taking care of ourselves, we're no good for the whole. You have to want your best and highest good for you. Because when you have your best and highest good for you, then that's when you're in the energy to put that out for your twin and for the whole.
Yes.
And we get that. We've been programmed to, if you want your best and highest good, you're selfish. And there's where the programming is wrong, is because it's just the opposite. If you don't have your best and highest good, you're not in your frequency, and what you're putting out is chaotic energy, not the correct frequency that reverberates out for everybody to have their best and highest good. It's when each one of us are in our frequency, in our best and highest good, that everyone gets theirs. We're meant to be harmonious. So yes, we're meant to be harmonious with our twin, but if you're having issues doing that, if that is difficult to do, you have to just start with yourself, work on yourself. That is all you can do, is work on yourself. And that is the fastest way, the only way to ever get into union with your twin. And there is no guarantee then, because they have to do the same. And there is no way to make someone else do that. So if they don't do it, you go on and you have a beautiful life just the same. You do not wait for that person to do it. You can't wait for them to do it, because you could wait your entire lifetime and they may not. So, and I understand totally that whole feeling of, but how do I go on without them, et cetera, et cetera. But you keep looking for your best and highest good. It really is about self-respect. And that is what the universe had self-respect, and it's divided, and it did not realize that it would degrade into anything less than that unconditional love. It didn't realize that the expansion of consciousness would degrade out of the frequency of unconditional love. So now we are all pulling ourselves back into, we're being pulled back into that bandwidth of that frequency. The twins will all get there eventually. We will all get there eventually. But until they do, if you're there, that's all that matters. That's all you can do, is get yourself there. There will be somebody else there that will treat you the way you're supposed to be treated, because that's what the universe is doing too, is the universe is mourning and hurting, et cetera, for all the energy out there that is not in that frequency. But at the same time, it is putting loving energy into those who are in that frequency. The more of us that get into that frequency, the more we're pulling everyone else into that frequency. So is it a twin flame thing? You bet you it is. It's the twin flames doing that. It brings exponential amounts of energy into it, but you can't make anyone else do it. Just like the universe could not make us do it. It's been a matter of time and progression, and gradually loving all of us back into frequency. It has had to be a proportional mathematical thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got to be the same thing with our twins. Mm-hmm. They either step up and decide to do it, or they don't. Mm-hmm. And if they don't, you go ahead and you have the best life you can, because this is your tactile experience you're in, and it is a gift. Because when we are just energy, we don't taste, we don't touch, we don't smell. We don't have, from what many people say, we don't have physical speech. We certainly don't have all the, when I say we don't touch, we don't have all the things that come with touching. We have the emotions, but we don't get to express them the way we do here.
Yeah.
So this is a limited time run here.
Yeah.
And people don't like to talk about time, but this tactile experience, at least for now, it's not meant to be limited, but for now it is. It's a limited time run that you're in this gift of a body. Use this gift and use this time for the most beautiful life you can have. And hopefully that will draw and attract your twins' energy in. And if it doesn't, then you will attract someone in who is in resonance with you, and you still can have a beautiful life. And that's because that is what we're all here for, is to keep raising the vibrational frequency of the planet. And if your twin won't do it with you, someone will.
Yeah. When you went over, have you heard the pillars of creation? Have you heard the frequency from the pillars of creation?
I have not. I've heard of. I know about the pillars of creation from something else entirely different. I think that you're talking about. But go on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the pillars of creation. The telescope is a big, beautiful image from space, and they recorded the frequency of it that's being put off. And that just brought me back to when you were talking about us holding our frequency, us being in our frequency. It's so important for us to be in the vibration and frequency that we came here to be in. Because think about it. If you think about it in the regards of terms of music, if we're not in our melody, then we throw the whole symphony off whack.
Yeah. I mean, if your instrument is out of tune, then you're messing up everything. If you don't know how to play the instrument, you're messing up everything. If you know how to play it, but you're refusing to play what everyone else is playing, you're messing up everything. We are one big symphony.
Yes.
This is meant to be harmonious and beautiful,
Yes.
not chaotic.
No.
And if your life is chaotic, you need to look at, this is the truth of the matter. When there's chaos in our lives, we need to look at, how am I out of tune?
Yes.
Because you're the only instrument. You control you, and that's all you control. What the other members of the orchestra are doing, you don't control. So the only way to make everything, the reverberations around you, the ones that are the most affecting you, are all you can work on.
Yeah.
So much of that is part of twin flame, but there are so many other aspects to what is twin flame, what is twin flame union.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's and it can, the reason why it seems to be so difficult in this physical reality is because, like we said, all of the chaos and everything that we've created. But when we can take our perception and turn that perception and start to going inside of ourselves, working on, like the twin flame union in general, regardless if you're with your twin flame in the physical, if your twin flame has passed away, or if your twin flame, y'all are just not in union, it's still about bringing you back to you, bringing you back to oneness.
It is.
So regardless of what area you're on this journey of discovering yourself, or if you all discovering you all self together, or if your twin has passed away and you're having to do it from just this one angle, it's all a part of the process. It's all a part of what you came here to discover about yourself and how you're meant to show up in your light, in your symphony, in your sound.
Right. We absolutely, the intent is the reverse engineering of everything so that wholeness is in harmony and we stay within that bandwidth. They have since figured it out that if we don't do it that way, which it's not like it wasn't known. There was this decision made we don't want to do it that way here. This universe wanted to do it differently. Well, we see what happened with that. But and now we've been trying to fix it ever since. But we're getting there. We're pulling out of that. We're pulling back into that bandwidth of unconditional love, and we are going to get there. Yeah. But until we do, it really is exactly what you said. We cannot make anyone else do it, and so we have to do it just for ourselves, because it really was always about the individual. The twin flames wanted for one another beautiful lives, and then to come together and have beautiful lives. But they couldn't have beautiful lives together if each one wasn't having a beautiful life. Well, then we had all of these lives that we had with all of these traumas, all of the damage, all of the things, and we have to heal from those, because when we meet now, those things are getting energetically in the way. And now that doesn't mean that you have to be, as we've said this before, to be in union, you don't have to be perfectly healed. But what you do have to be is aware of what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. That's what causes the running, chasing, all of that, is when there refuses to be awareness of what's happening and work on what's happening. That's what one is running and one is having to do. And there's no need to chase, because why do you want to catch them when they're not even aware or willing to work on what's going on? You're going to catch someone that you're not going to keep. You're going to catch someone who's not in resonance with you. I mean, the sex may be great, but for how long? Because then how long are you all going to be speaking to each other afterwards? Because you're not in resonance with one another. So there's no point in catching someone who has not opened up to the conscious awareness of the fact that that is my best chance at having the most beautiful existence on this planet I can have. And until they are consciously aware of that, there's a part of them that's aware. That's the beautiful thing about twin. We could talk about that with twin flame union. There is a part that is aware the minute they meet you.
Yeah, yeah. That part is aware. That's when you have that instant when you're like, oh my God, it's something about this person. I'm like, you might not even have heard of the term twin flame, but you know it's something different about this person, and they know it too. You all both have this feeling. Now it depends on how much healing that you all have done beforehand, or how much healing that needs to be done will determine how this dynamic is moved forward. But yes, but you just have this energy about when people ask me like, how do I know if I met my twin flame? How do you feel? Like on every energetic level within your being, how do you feel? Like even if you and this person cannot be together, do you still want their best and highest good? Now if you say me and this person ain't together, I don't want them to be happy regardless of not, I would have to question that union. Because the twin flame union, regardless of how they treat you or whatever you did or whatever, you still want the highest good. And even though that might not be with you all together at that time, you still want the highest and best good for them, and they want the same for you. It's a two-way street.
Yes, at all times it's and a lot of people who aren't in twin flame or haven't met their twin flame yet, they don't get that part of it. Yeah. They don't get that. They're like, why do you care about that? Why do you and they don't understand. You literally at some point realize you have encountered the part of you that you were divided from when you were created, and you cannot help, no matter how broken the situation may seem, no matter how much hurt, no matter how much, it doesn't mean that you're willing to continue in the hurt. You're not, because you have to value yourself more than that. Yeah. And you have to value them more than that, because if you're wallowing in hurt, you can bet your life the situation is hurtful for them. Yeah. And you don't want to be in a situation that's hurtful for yourself, but you don't want them hurting either. And people don't get that. Why do you care if they're hurting? You care if they're hurting because it's the other part of you hurting, and you can feel.
You can feel it
hurting.
Yes.
You don't want that. You want nothing but the best and highest good for them, even if it's breaking your heart. That it has nothing to do with you at all. That they aren't seemingly thinking about you at all, because you know that on some level they are.
Yeah.
And that is the hard part too, is not knowing, okay, in the 5D, in the fifth dimensional or higher, I know we're connected. I know that they know that they know, but in the 3D, they act oblivious, or they act like they don't care, or it seems they don't care. And that not knowing, do they know in the 3D? Do they not know in the 3D? Is it ever going to matter in the 3D? That's a very hard part of it too.
And that's why it's so important to stay in your frequency, to find your residency. Because if you allow that energy, they can be chaotic to your own internal energy.
Absolutely.
So if you let those emotions and however they're moving and whatever else that they yank you every time, something happened or whatever, then you're not holding your frequency. The best thing that you can do for yourself and your twin is to go inside of yourself, do the internal work, heal yourself, and hold your frequency. Think about healing as you are, like you're the instrument. And you're getting yourself a tune. You're getting yourself back in note and in melody. So you're tuning this. You got a guitar. You play the guitar. You're tuning it right there in front of me.
You gotta keep it tuned.
Yeah, you tuned it right there in front of me. I was so amazed by it. So yeah, you're tuning every time you heal and you do those areas of yourself. You're tuning yourself back up to your frequency. You're tuning your instrument back up. So the best thing you can do is to have sovereignty over yourself. Hold your frequency. Love yourself through this process. Love them as well. And see them for where they are. If you all come into union, beautiful. If you do not know and trust and believe that the universe has something better and more magical for you.
Absolutely, because the truth of the matter is that when you are in your frequency, you are drawing like energy into you anyway. And so, and it's not like the universe is down there. It's not like they're up above you looking down and they're moving you like chess pieces. But when you do open up and you say best and highest good, then that does free the universe to then guide you toward the energies that are like yours that do best fit you. Okay, this is the best for her. Let me guide her that direction. And then that's when you get the signs and the synchronicities that guide you someplace else. Yeah. And it may be another relationship. It may be career stuff that keeps you busy until the relationship is ready. Who knows what it'll be?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. If it's another relationship, then it is. Maybe it's all of that. Maybe you get a whole, you're going to be happy.
Yeah.
If you determine to be in the energy of happiness, you will be happy.
Yes.
We're at like 25 minutes. The card I got today was Sodalite, because we always want to talk about tools. I know that.
Yeah.
And crystals, of course, are tools. And of course, Sodalite is about calming the nervous system, because when we calm ourselves down, that's when we can go to center and we can find that energy that we're talking about, that our own frequency. And so many people are dealing with fight, flight, and freeze issues, with chronic health issues. My own, that was me. But we're all dealing with fight, flight, and freeze. And so this is a crystal to help calm you down. And of course, the card is 111.
And for you to speak your truth as well.
Yes. And of course, this all comes from the same book we've been using all the time. So I wanted to say that. But so, if you want to talk a little about the crystal, because I know crystals are your thing, and then wrap it up however you want to. Yeah.
Yes. Sodalite is that energy of speaking your truth, of calming down your nerve, bringing peace over your body, bringing peace over your energetic system, which is very important in any area of your life. Our nervous system, we don't understand, and I can break this down a longer segment on how our nervous system is connected to how we flow in life and how we put things off in life. If we've been living in a fight or flight mode all our life, and then we think we're going to be able to live in that same energy and we're trying to thrive, we can't. We have to learn how to calm down that nervous system, heal those parts of ourselves, so those nervous systems can start rewinding and healing themselves, and then we can be in a calmer state, so we can have a better advantage, a better higher point of understanding, so we can be able to navigate the situation instead of the situation pulling us into another direction. So that's a whole nother topic for another day. But
what you just talked about was holding your frequency instead of being pulled out of your frequency, which is essential for twin flame union, for your own personal health and happiness and wholeness and completeness, whether you're twin flame or not twin flame. Or know about your twin flame or don't know about your twin flame. So, well, I know we want to tell everyone to be sure to like and subscribe, because neither one of us think of that, because we just don't think in those terms. Like and subscribe. Please do that. Please share.
Yes.
What do you have going on this week?
And I want to also say, if you have any questions for next week's episode, make sure you leave those below in the comments. We'll be happy to go over those questions in each segment. We're going to have 20 and 30 minute videos now. So yes, and the only thing I have going on I have a lot going on. I'm doing my UGC content. I have an agency that I'm going to be in contact with this week to start making content for them. So I have a lot going on. And then if you want to reach out for any of my services or products, I make crystal jewelry. We always talk about crystal jewelry. So that is on my website as well. Yes, all right there. Yes. And then also as well, if you're really wanting to look into trying to heal these wounds, if you're twin flame or not, I work with people that are twin flames and people that are healers that are trying to heal themselves so they can break those generational curses. The link will be in the bio.
Absolutely. Of course, I'll lead a meditation, a live intuitive guided meditation on Thursday nights. The Zoom link is on the YouTube channel. It's on the Facebook channel. It's on TikTok. Y'all can find it there. I put it up before Thursdays usually, but it's definitely there on Thursdays. And I also I do guided intuitive sessions with people and do private meditations with them as well. Happy to do that. And I work with people privately too. But and next month, the class will be on the Chiron wound healing. That's what next month's class is going to be. Haven't got a date for that yet. And as always, if you want to be in the Twin Flame book, let us know. We're still looking for authors for that. And that's pretty much what I have going on. I'm still writing. I'm still writing books. I'm still writing books. So still the same stuff. But yeah, this was great. Any parting things? We're at 29 here.
That's all. You guys have a wonderful day. Like I say, I always say peace and love in my twin flame, with my spirit guys. And I can't wait until next week's episode.
No, it's Twin Flame Tuesdays. I love Twin Flame Tuesdays. Thank you all for being with us. Bye.